All right, guys. So this is one of the most important videos in crypto. This is something I wish I learned earlier, and I think it's overlooked a lot. And that's how to send money from different exchanges to wallets to cold storage and all that without losing it in the eternal black hole. I've sent a lot of money to different chains, never to see the money again because I made a silly mistake. I don't want you guys to do that. So let's get started. First things first, you have to find an on ramp. Now, an on ramp is kind of imagine like a highway where the highway is crypto and an on ramp is coming on. You have to bring your fiat, your US dollars, or whatever it might be, your euros. You have to bring it into the crypto ecosystem. So an on ramp is what it's called. And a good on ramp is Binance, there's Coinbase. These are some of the more trusted sites in all of crypto. And so this is where I would recommend starting an on ramp. I personally use Coinbase, but there's Binance, Binance US, and Binance, regular for everyone else in the world. Now, the way you're going to want to do it is what you have to do is you have to sign up for one of these accounts and you have to then go to, once you're signed up, you have to then put in either your credit card or your bank account in order to send money to the exchange. So if you're on Binance here, you have, one-time purchase. What you can do is, let's say you wanted to buy Ethereum. I go over here to the USD balance and then USD balance is zero. So I then do add payment method and I'll be prompted with, bank transfer, debit card, or wire. So for me personally, I usually do a bank transfer and I set it up with all my, banking details and whatnot. I personally do it on Coinbase, but Binance is great as well. So once you've done that, once you've added your debit card or your, bank info and you can then send money, what you want to do is then deposit money. So for me on Coinbase, I usually do go to USD, I deposit, and then I will deposit it from my bank account. It says I have a $35,000 daily limit, which is pretty high. So then I just go here and then I click and send however much money I want to send. Now, one thing to know about is that usually it takes a couple days for it to clear. Now, that's one of those downsides of having this centralized bank. For me on Coinbase, it usually takes a couple days to clear. So while it might say that, let's say I transfer $1,000, it says I have $1,000. But if I then wanted to take that money and then send it to a different exchange and then use it, it wouldn't let me do it because it takes like 3 to 4 days to clear. So it will have to sit in this account for 3 to 4 days before I can then use it and buy and sell other things. So that's one thing to know. I've lost a lot of a good potential trades because I saw something happening. I then transferred money in, but then after 3 days, the time had lapsed and I missed the trade all because it was sitting here clearing. So if you want to make sure that you have money in it, make sure you transfer it in and keep it in a stable coin while you're waiting. But just know it does take some time to clear. Once I do have US dollars in here, there's a difference between US dollars and USDC or even USDT. This is the fiat. This is just a straight up dollar. This is not a crypto. This one is a crypto. And so what's nice about Coinbase, which I like, is you can just click here, convert to USDC, and you can just convert whatever amount. So if you have $100 in here, you just convert it and it, equal swaps to 100 USDC. So now you have a USD stable coin. So that's usually what I do. And it's the same way too when you want to take money off. So when you want to, transfer money that you've made, let's say you've made a bunch of money in Ethereum, you then sell your Ethereum for USDC into a stable coin. And when it's on Coinbase here, you can then convert it back to USD, which is the fiat version. And then from there, you can withdraw it to your bank. I'm going to show you all of this. So now that we have, let's say we have deposited $1,000 of US dollars. We've then clicked this. We've converted this US dollars into USDC. Now we want to be able to send our $1,000 to, maybe to a different exchange that has some more tokens or to our MetaMask so that we can buy things on a decentralized exchange. So how we're going to do that is we're going to go to withdraw. So imagine hypothetically, I have $1,000 here on this USDC, and I want to withdraw it. I want to send it to a different exchange. So what we're going to do is we're going to click withdraw here, and we're going to go to USDC. Now it'll say you want to send it from Coinbase.com or a crypto address. We're always going to do a crypto address. This is the Coinbase Pro version. It's the same as Coinbase, just with some more added features and less fees. I prefer it. However, I know they're going to be merging the two coming soon. So just keep that in mind. Now, this is one of the most important parts. This is choosing the network that you're going to be sending the money to. As I mentioned before, when we did that video about setting up the wallets on MetaMask, we have different networks here. These are, we have Ethereum, we have Polygon, we have Binance, we have Avalanche, we have Solana, all these different networks. And when you send money to a network, you have to make sure that you are sending it to the right one because a lot of these coins can be on the same network. So, for example, stable coins like USDC or USDT, you can have USDT on all of these different networks. However, if you wanted to send your USDT from Ethereum to Solana, it would just get lost in the abyss if you don't choose the right network here. So this is very important. So let's say I want to withdraw this USDC stablecoin and I want to withdraw it to Ethereum. Let's say I want to send it to my MetaMask here. I want to send it to Ethereum. So what I do is I find my address here. This is a little address. You can click copy, super easy. And we double check. I'm on the Ethereum network here. Yep. And then I go here and I say network. Okay. Ethereum. Yep. That's what I want to do. Then I click here and I paste this and I paste this address here and it says, yep, this is a valid USDC address. I understand that I'm withdrawing this. Click the max amount, whatever it might be. Network fees for here, it's like $1, whatever. And then I would click this and then I would click withdraw. That is how you would withdraw this stablecoin to that network. Now, let's say hypothetically, you want to send it to a different exchange so that you can do some trading or buying or whatever. So this is how you would send it to your MetaMask. So once you send it, it would appear here in a little bit. You would see in your activity that you would have the deposit come in, and then you would see, you'd have to import the token. You'd have to go here, add USDC, and then you would wait, and then you would come back here and you'd see, okay, I sent 1,000 USDC to this network. Now, let's say you wanted to send this to a different exchange. So I have Mexi here, which is another exchange. A lot of times it's not a top tier exchange. So it's usually it's like a mid tier exchange. But what that means is it gets a lot of coins sooner than the top tier exchange. So you can trade on here coins that aren't on other ones. So let's say I want to use this exchange. I have multiple exchanges, by the way. So let's say I want to send money to this account. So what I would do is I want to deposit money into Mexi. So I go to my account, and all these exchanges pretty much look the same, more or less. So let's say I go to deposit, and I want to deposit USDC. So we have the money right now in Coinbase. We want to deposit it to here. So what we do is we go, we have to choose the network. So this is something that it was really confusing to me when I first started. And that's that all these networks have abbreviated names. And that was kind of tripping me up when I first started. So ERC20 is Ethereum. And the way that you can check this, and you just double check it whenever you're looking for a chain name. Like if we go back here, let's say, what is TRC20? You look at that and you're like, what is TRC20? You go here, TRC20. Oh, that is the Tron network. So you go, so now you know, okay, if you're on the Tron network, what is ERC20? ERC20 is the Ethereum blockchain. So it's just the abbreviated version here. So what we're going to do is, like we mentioned before, we are on the Ethereum chain. We are going to deposit here. So what we need to do is we click here to generate this address. We click copy, and then now we're ready to deposit USDC. So on Coinbase, we go back here and we have to withdraw the USDC. Click this. We go to crypto address again. We're on the Ethereum network, right? We come back here, we check, yep, we're on ERC20, the Ethereum network. We click this, we go here, we click use this address, and then it has this little green check. Yep, that's a valid USDC address. I understand I'm withdrawing funds over the Ethereum network. There's a lot of warnings, so luckily there's that. Then you click withdraw, and then after 14 confirmations, you would come in here, and you would see it show up down here. You can go to history and whatnot, and it would show up as one of the confirmations. So then that is how you get your funds onto a different platform like that. So that's how you would get it onto a MetaMask, a decentralized exchange. That's how you get it onto a different centralized exchange. Now let's see how to send from a decentralized exchange to a centralized. Let's say we sent our money to our MetaMask, which is a decentralized wallet. Let's say we want to now send it to Mexi or a different wallet. So what we do here is we're on MetaMask. We go to send, and then we click this. We go back here to we want to deposit USDC token. We're on the Ethereum network ERC20. We copy this. We go up here. We see, okay, we are on Ethereum. Yep. We want to send. We send to this address here. Now I don't have enough money. Obviously, it says insufficient gas, but we would go down here. We click the asset that we want to send. We want to send USDC. We'd click the amount, and then it will, whatever amount we want, and then we click next, and then it would send. It would take a little bit of time. It takes some time to do these. It can take up to 30 minutes sometimes, depending on how congested the network is. But when we do that, we would then send it, and it would arrive here on Mexi, and we'd go to our history, and we'd see that. Perfect. Now we know how to send money back and forth to these different exchanges. There's a couple of things to note. Let's say this is the Ethereum chain. This is ERC20. Let's say we have Binance Smart Chain, which is BEP20. And let's say we have the Polygon chain, which is Matic. So every time you send from one of these chains on a decentralized exchange, like a wallet, like MetaMask, you're going to have to use whatever the native token is as gas. When you're on one of these exchanges, when you are sending it, let me show you. When you're on one of these exchanges and you go to withdraw a centralized exchange, there's a certain fee. And the fee can get paid out depending on whatever token you're sending, which is kind of nice because you don't have to have just Ethereum. So let's say hypothetically we wanted to send USDT to our MetaMask. Well, when you go here and you select the network, you can see here over on the side the certain fees. So Ethereum is usually the most expensive one. You scroll down here and you can see ERC20 is $4. Okay, usually it's $10 actually. So USDT, $4 to exchange, and it's going to use, and the fee is going to be taken out of the USDT. Now, if we wanted to send Ethereum, we go here to the network and we can see it's going to cost this much Ethereum, which is probably about $4, 0.002 Ethereum. So you can see it gets paid out in whatever the token is that you're sending. However, when you're on a decentralized exchange, the fee gets taken out of Ethereum. So you always have to have a little bit of Ethereum or whatever the native gas token is. So on Binance, you have to have a little bit of BNB. That's the native gas token. And on Polygon, you have to have a little bit of Matic. So we have our chains here, and this is our centralized exchange. So we have Ethereum, we have Binance Smart Chain, and we have Polygon. And let's say this is our centralized exchange. We want to send USDC to our Ethereum chain. But let's say hypothetically, we go to send it, but we send it from the wrong network. We want to send USDT to Ethereum, but we end up clicking TRC20 instead of ERC20. When we send it, it will just get lost forever. It will never come back, and you'll never be able to see that money again. Now, a lot of these exchanges, there's some fail proofs so that you don't end up doing that, but I've done it before, especially when you're sending from MetaMask. There's no warnings that pop up. So you have to make sure that you're sending to the right one. Now, what if you want to send your USDC or USDT to your other chain? So let's say you're on MetaMask and you want to send it to your Binance Smart Chain or to a different chain. How do you do that? Well, one method is to use a centralized exchange. So what you can do, we want to send money from our Ethereum to our Binance Smart Chain, and we want it to be USDT stablecoin. Now, on the front facing, we see that it's USDT, but we know that it's underlying, there's different chains. There's a couple ways we can do this. We can first send to a centralized exchange and then send it here. That's 2 transactions, so that's a little bit of a cost. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is a bridge. Now, there's a couple different bridges you can find, and there's different bridges for every network. What a bridge does is a bridge allows you to send your money from this chain to this chain without having to go to a centralized exchange in between. There's a lot of pros and cons to bridges. Bridges are faster and easier usually. However, a lot of times there are some issues that can go with bridges. For example, let's say ETH bridge. ETH bridge to BSC. Let's see. So here is a bridge where you can send your money from different chains. So let's say we want to send it from Ethereum to Binance, and this is the amount of ETH we want to send. Now, it'll show this is exactly approximately how much money you will receive on the end. You can see there's a little bit of a fee coming out of it. So if you want to, you can go and convert whatever that difference is. So if it's like a 0.05%, 0.05 ETH difference, you can calculate if it's cheaper to send it from a bridge, or if it's cheaper just to take the fee and send it to a centralized exchange and then back. That's up to you. When I first started out, I liked using bridges because it was easier. Now I kind of prefer just using centralized exchanges, but it's up to you. So for me, I personally go from this MetaMask Ethereum chain to a centralized exchange and then back. There's a couple ways to do it. The way I would do it is if I wanted to send money from my MetaMask to a centralized exchange and then to a different chain, I would go to, let's say, we go to MEXC, I'd go to USDT. The network I want is ERC20. Yep. And so I'm going to deposit. So I copy this. I'd go here. I would then click send. I'd copy this address. I would change it to USDT, and then I would click send. Then I'd wait. Then I would wait the 15 or so minutes that it takes. It would arrive here. I'd see it, and I'd say, okay, now I want to send this USDT to Binance Smart Chain. So then I go withdraw USDT, and then I would choose a network, and now I would go to BSC, which is a BEP20 network. So it's a $1 fee, not too bad. So then I'd go here. I would go to my MetaMask. I would then have to switch networks, go over here, and change it. Now it is the same. If you notice, when I changed networks, it is the same. The address here, your contract address, or your wallet address, I should say. It is the same. So I go here, copy this address. We are on the Binance Smart Chain. Click that, and you are good to go. Now you can just select the amount of money you want to send and send it. So now that is how you would take money from the Ethereum chain on your MetaMask to your Binance Smart Chain. So you have to kind of imagine it as they are these separate little chains like this, and they have to be connected somehow. So you can use a centralized exchange in between, or you can use a bridge to connect them directly like that. Now, if you follow the news, there's a lot of hacks that come out with bridges. A lot of bridges get hacked. They're kind of like an easy exploit for hackers, and sometimes you can lose money through them and whatnot. So me personally, I just prefer sending it to a centralized exchange and then back. Seems like the safest way for me, but that is how you would do it. So that covers pretty much how you would do all of that. Now, let's say you wanted to then take all this money and send it back to your bank account. Let's say, you deposit your USDT from a crypto address. And you'll notice one thing with Coinbase, I'm not sure with Binance, but Coinbase is always on Ethereum. It's always ERC20, and it says this is an ERC20 address. Only send USDT from there. So you have to kind of click here to understand that you know that. So that's one thing that's very important to note. So then you copy your address here, you go back up, and let's say you want to withdraw. Now we're going to do, where is it? ERC20. You take this address and we paste it, and then we send our money to Coinbase. Now, one thing to note is every time you do a transaction on Coinbase, actually, for security reasons, this wallet address will change every time a transaction is done. So when someone says, hey, send me your wallet address, I'll send you USDT. If you send them this address and then they send you money, and then your friend asks you again for that address, and you go here and you click it again, it'll be a different address, and it'll say, that's a different address. The way it works with Coinbase actually is just for privacy reasons. They actually make a new address every time, but it always points back to your account. So just for a quick little example, if this is Coinbase, this is your Coinbase account. Every time a new transaction comes, it's, a different address. So we have wallet 1, wallet 2, wallet 3. So every time you do a transaction, someone asks you for your wallet to send you money, a new address will come up, but it always points back to your account. And what's really nice about it is that address won't be used again. However, if someone keeps sending money to that thing, to that same address, it'll keep, it'll keep working. So if someone, has you on payroll or whatnot, and they want to send money to this, every time you go here, it'll be new address. But if they keep sending it to that same one, if they have that address saved, it'll still work. So you don't have to worry about that. That's just a little security thing for Coinbase, which is nice. So then you deposit your USDT, you've sent it here. Now you can convert it. What I like about this is you can convert back to USDC or USD very easily, the stable coin. So you convert your coins, convert it back to just straight up USD, and then you're good to go. From there, you would go to withdraw. You would go to withdraw USD, and then you would transfer it back to your bank account here. And then that would take, another 3 days to do. So that is the process of getting money from your bank account to this exchange, sending it to different exchanges, and transferring it back. Hope this video was useful to you guys. If there was anything that you need clarification on, leave it down in the comments below and I will be sure to get back to you. This is something that was definitely a bit of a pain to learn when I first learned it. So hopefully this has cleared up some confusion for you guys and you don't end up losing money like I did.